So today we are racing in some new gloves. Something very special, something I've been waiting for a long time. These gloves actually match the ones in this My Team series of our team gear. And it's officially time to present my own Tuatara gloves. Now these are a prototype, work in progress, but we're going to debut them today and see exactly what they're like. Now guys, we have a lot to get through. The previous episode will be linked in the top right. Go see what happened. It was Miami, it was a sprint round, and we have now been introduced to a rivalry for the first time in this entire series versus Red Bull. So we'll see exactly how that goes. Now there's one big thing to note that I haven't mentioned yet because so much happened over the last week. There was recently a patch featuring driver rating updates, and Carlos Sainz and Pierre Gasly have both dropped. They're both now 84 rated by default in the game, which means they're both going to be lower in this career mode potentially. Now we're going to apply that to this existing save, and here is the rivalry I was just talking about. So it's Cadillac v Red Bull in this one, and for the first time ever we finally have something to kind of chew on and, you know, have some fun with, and kind of have an actual direct rival to try and beat, a target to aim for mid-season, which I absolutely love. So right now Red Bull have a 21-point gap in the constructors, so let's go about our business and let's see if we can try and close that down. Now we're going to start out with component management. We're going to freshen up the ICE, the turbocharger and the gearbox on both cars. Guys, I want to note one thing: the audio in this video is not great. I changed all my recording settings during the hack and I'm still trialing them. There was one mistake which I've now fixed since I've recorded this, so it won't happen again. But for this one, you're going to have to put up with it, which is basically my microphone is merged with the game audio, so at times you're going to kind of hear me breathing, moving in my chair, or whatever it may be, kind of at different points. I've tried to fix it as best as I can, but you might hear some weird noises throughout the video. But anyway, personnel department, we're going to go for the payroll benefits restructure to basically reduce the running costs in all the facilities by 30%. We had nothing in the personnel, so in corporate we also received two improvements: audience engagement for Media Blitz and HQ Media Relations. Now, interestingly, on corporate we only have two left on phase 4 and we've officially maxed out, so we're going to do the merchandising department and we're going to do level 2 of the secondary sponsor roadmap. So we'll get those cooking away in the meantime as we move to activities. Now we're going to begin with a team restructure, which is good all round, has no negative effects or costs. Then in engineering, we're not going to do anything at all here because everything has some sort of cost attached. So we're going to go to personnel. Now for this one, I was debating what would be best, and in the end I actually ended up going for driver sim testing, and also not just that, we're going to go for a driver performance review to improve their perception in the paddock. Then last but not least, we're going to go to corporate, and for this one we're going to take up the entire allocation by doing I believe a advertising campaign. So yeah, with that out of the way, activities finished, we can begin with a few updates for today's episode. As we skip ahead on the timeline, we're going to get through the activities and we have some pretty big advancements.
Okay boss, advance talks have gone well, I must say. We're now at the stage where we can meet face to face again with them if you'd like. The agenda today will be trying to reduce some of their expectations, get a better deal for us. And of course we can always delay.
So that is the situation. For now, we have advanced talks with Pierre Gasly. That usually means advanced talks with Carlos Sainz should not be too far behind. So let's see what Pierre wants. Now, engineering workforce, 247. I believe we are way over 300, maybe even 400 now because we're phase 4. So we comply. Fan rating, we're almost level 6, so we're nearly going to have that. And also he wanted level 3 vehicle performance in the ranking, which, I'll be honest, I actually think isn't that far either. We're, I think, 4th or 5th right now, but we're right there with the big boys. So let's see what Carlos has on the table. Pierre had an 85% chance of signing. Sainz, with an extra long neck, has an 85% also and has the exact same terms as Pierre. The small difference is a slightly smaller workforce, but of course his annual salary is higher. So both drivers are looking likely to be re-signed at this stage, unless things take a little turn, a small deviation, let's say. So with that done, we actually unlocked an owner training point. So we're going to go and spend it on engineering. You can see in the bottom right, we have a pretty even split. So we're going to go for engineering, and we are going to go for the one on the left, which is Blue Sky Thinker, which basically means, you know, we're going to hopefully do a better job of using our environment to get better results all round in activities. Now, we have unlocked a new level unlock on the title sponsor loyalty, and actually this one's pretty big because I mentioned in the last episode, this is the kind of default preset Seren design that you see when you sign the contract, and we've actually unlocked it. So guys, in the race, in the replay cameras, also in the cutscenes, keep an eye out. You might spot the changes on the car with the new logo present. Now for today, we're racing as Carlos Sainz, and we have a dry forecast at the Grande Premio dell'Emilia Romagna. As you can see, both drivers in the top 6 in the Drivers' Championship. Last time out, as you know, Pierre Gasly, of course, unfortunate DNF in the hands of yours truly. I put it in the barrier at the chicane, which if you haven't seen it, again, go check it out to see exactly how that happened. But yeah, we're going to head into practice, and we're going to begin with our car setup. We're going to get that dialed in and get that set up for the weekend ahead. And hopefully, fingers crossed, if all goes well, this will work pretty well for us. Now, into practice we go. Medium tyres on. We're going to do the usual, just the race simulations, the race runs. We were nowhere near the first lap, like way off the pace. I haven't driven my team in over a week. Literally, I think 9 days. So getting used to driving a maxed out car again, it's a bit of an experience. And on the second lap, we just about got it. Had a bit of a scruffy lap 3 and was making a few errors here and there as we were trying to get used to everything. And yeah, eventually we got it all done, and we were still able to get a purple score.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
By the way, how good do the gloves look? My god, so good. Right, let's talk about the data then. So tyre wear, really good, pretty much level. Fuel burn 46.1. We'll run that for the race. You can see the data from the laps. Lap 1 was absolutely terrible. Yeah, job done for us in practice. We finish with both cars in the top 8. Gasly P5, Carlos P8. Leclerc setting the pace in a big way in the Ferrari out front. And yeah, we'll see how that translates into qualifying. Our R&D points total right now is ridiculous. It's 18 grand. So if we unlock any upgrades, we will be there right away to purchase them up straight away. Anyway, let's get to qualifying. Let's see how it goes. So as I mentioned before, slightly amended intro. You'll see it for the race as well because of the audio issues in this one. It wasn't great, so I've tried to fix it as best as I can. Lap 1 in qualifying begins with an invalidation at the Tamburello chicane. So we're going to have to go again and try to improve and get that a bit cleaner through Tamburello, which we do second time around. We also went a little bit quicker as well. So purple sector 1 as well, which is actually pretty insane. We're now hitting a bit of traffic though as we head up to the Variante Alta. Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin Honda completely just making a meal of it, getting right in the way. Any other day of the week, that is a grid penalty, but it seems like he may have got away with it. Over the line, we go P7, even with that block, 1:11.8. I've got enough fuel though to go for one more, and we're actually going to use his teammate Esteban Ocon as a little slipstream assist for this one, just to move us up. We're currently P10, so I want to get through on this set of tyres and not burn another set of fresh softs if possible. So we're going to go again. We've also been struggling in the last couple of rounds in Jeddah and Miami. Now Ocon also, like Stroll, is making a pain of himself because he can't get off the racing line. He's weaving right, weaving left. Eventually we got through, and you'll see now we're actually a tenth up, and then through the chicane where we got blocked, we find another 4 tenths, and we're basically north of half a second as we, or north of 4 tenths really, making our way into the last couple of corners, looking to just close this lap. Currently P11. If we get this over the line, this should hopefully mean we are more than safe. Over the start finish we go, and it's P3, just behind Pierre. That will do nicely. So, job done for us in that session. You can see both cars looking pretty comfortable. Pierre P2, we finish in P7 in the end. Lando setting the pace out front as we move into Q2. So, purple sector 1 on this first banker. Really on the limit there with the track limits at the chicane as we go personal best in sector 2. Now looking to finish the lap as Antonelli goes quickest in the McLaren. Tidy here through the two Ravazzas, trying to keep the car well on track as we now head to the line. Let's see what we do over the start finish. It's going to be a 1:11.1 straight to second, and that will do very nicely indeed. So, job done. As we go back to the garage, you can see Leclerc now 1:10.2. That's insane. 3 purple sectors, like literally, he's just rocked up and crushed everyone. Anyway, Q2 finishes. We get both cars through comfortably. And yeah, a decent margin over the knockout zone. But that lap from Leclerc, oh my god, that is a statement. I will say, the Ferrari v McLaren trend seems to be set to continue here today. And Red Bull seem a little bit off the pace. So that battle, that rivalry between us and Red Bull is looking set to continue. So into Q3, we're going to use our teammate Pierre Gasly for a little slipstream down towards Tamburello. Really aggressive over the curbing here, just trying to push the car as much as possible. Into Villeneuve. Again, you want to really cut these curbs. That right-hander wasn't great. It really left a lot of time on the table there. You want to cut that way more. We go purple in sector 1 as we try to square off Tosa, heading up the hill towards Piratella. Turn 9, down 2 gears. Way early on the turning though. Horrible line through there, correcting on the way through, which isn't ideal. Into Acqua Minerale, trying to make sure we get a nice exit over the top, really on the limit there with the track limits. And now into the Variante Alta, chicane, 4th gear, just flick it over the curb, super aggressive on the cut. Very nicely done as we now race down towards the 2 Ravazzas, the final 2 corners. Brake at almost the 50-meter board, down to 4th gear, lots of inside curb and outside curb. Same applies for Ravazza 2 as we burn the battery to the line, keep it tight to the right, shortest run, and we do a 1:10.7. P5, not bad at all, not bad at all. Pierre 8th, 10th and a bit between us. Lando on the pace with Verstappen in P2. Then there's quite a gap to Tsunoda in P3, so Red Bull really turning it up here on that Ford power unit in Q3. Anyway, we've got one more set of tyres, one more lap in the bank, so let's send it and let's see what we can do here in Imola. I'm not going to lie, that was a really good lap. Really good lap. It got us right in the mix, but Verstappen's on pole. He's done it again out of nothing, out of nowhere. He gets pole. But to be fair, it's a good qualifying from the Cadillacs. You know, Gasly P4, Sainz P5. I love that. Can't complain. We out-qualify Tsunoda. Also beat the 2 Mercs. We also get a McLaren as well and a Ferrari. So it's really decent. And yeah, Pierre, second row, signs ourselves just behind. So yeah, let's see. Pace looks good in qualifying, but will it translate to the race? Let's find out. It's time for the race here at Imola. Let's get to work and let's try and get these points. So here we go, P5 on the grid at Imola. A good shot at podium, hopefully, would be what we aim for in this race. I don't know if the win will be on the cards. To be fair, Gasly's P4, we're right there in the thick of it, but it does seem Max, Leclerc, Norris have been pretty quick this weekend, so we'll see what we can do. Either way, strategy here, fairly straightforward. It's going to be a one-stop. I don't expect any dramas, a simple medium to hard tyre strategy with the according fuel. No rain expected, so yeah, a very straightforward race from that point of view. Now, last time out, Miami was an absolute classic. We had red flags, we had safety cars, everything. So that was a dry event, so that could perfectly happen again. Either way, let's get to it and let's see what we can do. Front tyre temps are a little bit on the lower side, but it shouldn't be much of an issue, I'd say. I think this might be a decent race tyre. It was nowhere near overheating in practice in the race simulations, so I think it'll work well. Key thing here, though, is going to be positioning our car, so let's see how this goes. Right, let's have a good debut in these new gloves. Here we go. Emilia-Romagna, lights out, and away we go. Pretty similar start all round for everybody. Leclerc getting the jump as we head towards turn 1. Easy does it, don't want to get damage. Leclerc challenging Gasly. Just taking a back seat as we lose a position and drop to P6. Let's see if we can try and get that back at some point. Leclerc's had a poor Villeneuve chicane. Down the inside, aggressive, but that curb very slippy. Very little grip on the inside. Have to correct it, and that forces us to kind of abandon the overtake attempt. So not ideal. Not the start I was hoping for. So Antonelli's all over the back of us here, of course. He's on home turf. Looking to do well. Snowden behind him. So all the big boys are up here. All the big teams fighting for the big prizes. Let's see if we can try and settle in here and try and find our pace early on. Important thing here is to try and stay within DRS, which is going to be the first objective. The other thing is going to be seeing what our straight line speed looks like relative to everybody else. So this is going to be the first test as we open it up out the last corner. Antonelli 3 tenths behind, let's see.
Okay, DRS is now available.
He's still closing. I've backed off the battery for now. There goes Kimi. Well, I'll break him on the inside. That'll be my corner. But without DRS, that was quite easy for him. So maybe we are down a little bit on straight line speed. Also battling in front, which is allowing, I believe, Lando Norris to get away out front. Yellow flag. Someone behind.
Okay, the incident's been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on.
Looks like it could be Tsunoda. As Albon's moved up. We'll get confirmation now. Lando Norris setting the pace out front as we are within DRS of Leclerc. Using a lot of battery though early on to try and stick with the pace here, but we're managing. It is Tsunoda. He's out of this race. Looks like no safety car though, so no change out front. Oh.
Yellow flag.
Antonelli catching me by surprise there. I wasn't expecting him to go for that because of the yellow flag, but he was actually going for the move. Bad exit from us, but we should be okay to defend this as Piastri sets the pace in the Ferrari. At the minute, I'm struggling, I'd say. I'm just trying to hang on, but, you know, not a lot of pace in the reserve, not a lot of battery left. We're just sort of trying to hang on for this phase. I think, again, the hard tyre stint should be better for us, but it's all about weathering the storm on these mediums like it usually is. I'm just struggling with that corner exit. Antonelli's right there. Leclerc goes for the move on Gasly. We're just going to defend this, to be fair. Antonelli's running out of straight. Leclerc, Gasly side by side here. Let's see who blinks. They're blocking up the entire road though. Well, Antonelli went for the move. I was not expecting that. That was an aggressive lunge from the Italian. That caught me by surprise. But no change to our position. But Leclerc does move up on Pierre, which isn't ideal. I think we're both lacking some pace. Here comes Kimi again, but we'll make sure he does not go for that move. He's really aggressive though at the minute, really trying everything. Albon through on Antonelli. So So now those two are kind of switching and battling. That gives us a little bit of respite. So Norris out front, then it's Verstappen and Piastri, and then it's Leclerc, Gasly, Sainz, Albon, Antonelli. 3 groups are forming. Gasly's getting dropped. I think he's going to lose DRS on Leclerc. Albon's pressuring behind, so we need to get on with it. Let's try and stick with Leclerc, not let him get away if possible. I've managed to work my way up to a full charge. So we're going to move through here on Pierre, who does not have DRS. And we're going to try and catch back up to Leclerc. Albon will follow. Let's see, usually we're a bit better in second halves of stints. Tyres are not overheating, which is good, so we can push and lean on these as much as we need. So let's stick with it here. Leclerc might be a good car to follow, but Gasly is starting to tumble. At the minute, the cars ahead are pulling away, which isn't great. We're still just sat behind Leclerc here. Albon's pressuring. I feel like I want to have a go at some point in clean air, but I don't really have the pace, you know, except for a couple of corners. Leclerc with a bit of a missed apex there through the first chicane. Not ideal. Luckily we're under no pressure, so we'll be able to manage. Wow. Whew. First proper signs of the rear grip starting to fade now in a big way. It's interesting how we caught Leclerc a lot into that chicane, but the traction's a bit of an issue now, and that's costing me a little bit, so we're sort of stuck. Okay, the rears are overheating. Makes sense why I'm sliding so much. So the temp isn't as high of a threshold as other tracks. It's pretty low here to be overheating at 102. That's because we have some different Pirelli compounds at this track, so clearly we're actually still having the same issues as always in terms of tyre compound, but we're still hanging in there. So I just think if we can just stay here and pit for the hards, hopefully the next stint should be better for us. But the top 3 are getting away every lap without failure. They're just too quick at the minute. Well, there we go. Tyre wear icon has just literally flashed up, so this is actually going to work out pretty well for us. And I think good timing for a stop. Get off these tyres, which are overheating and also starting to wear, and just get some hard tyres on and hopefully have a better second stint. Don't speed. There we go. Pretty cautious entry in the end, but you know, didn't want to take any risk. We've had a decent race so far. Right, we've managed to hold off Verstappen in the pit box a little bit, which is not a bad thing. In we go. Hit our marks. Need a good stop here. And it is good, 2.4. We're going to, whoa, nearly jump Leclerc. Nearly. I think if I'd pushed that pit entry a touch more, we could have maybe got that, but show with a slightly slow stop, it seems. Either way, back on the way.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Right. Let's not overcommit. Hard tyres will need a minute to warm up, although we instantly pick up a track limit. The extra grip on the front, working right away. But there's Max. He's not too far. Visually, he's closer again. So let's see. Although he has been the quickest man all weekend, we've got a second chance to try and catch him here. I was close to a track limit. Right, everybody else should be in. Yep, everybody else is in. So this is going to be interesting to see where we are using battery here on the pit straight, as we are losing ground to the close, pulling away. We've got a bit more of a gap now to Albon and Antonelli, so that 1 lap undercut giving us a bit of breathing room. And yeah, we are back where we were, but the top 3 are visibly closer. So let's see, maybe it's game on, you never know. Right, Norris 13.4. Let's see. Not bad. 13.3. Both Leclerc and myself going quicker. That's good. Piastri 13.0 in the Ferrari. Of course, race leader now. We'll do another 13.1. So the pace is very similar between all 5 of us out front here. That's our pace. Very consistent. We are catching Max. Leclerc's literally just a second away, so we'll stay here. Charles doing a cracking job at the minute of putting the work in. Wait, what? I didn't feel off to me. Right, we need to be careful now. That's 2 warnings, so no more for the rest of this race. Right, it's Leclerc time. He's going to move up here onto the podium. Verstappen struggling. Big moment for Max out of the second Ravazza, and here goes Leclerc. Attack mode engaged, he's going for it. The Tifosi are going crazy for it as Leclerc walks past, of course, the underpowered Ford Red Bull. But now let's see what we can do. We don't really have the pace today. This is, you know, what the best we can hope for. So anything more than this is a bonus. These 4 ahead are much quicker than us, but we're doing a good job of just managing and sitting in DRS range the whole race. So if you want to strike, we need to think of something, because on pure merit pace we don't have enough. These two are just going to swap pretty much every lap. We might just catch up though to Lando Norris here if this keeps going. We're also hitting some lap traffic. Uh-oh. Please stay out the way, thank you. Yellow flag. I think that's...
Okay, clear.
That was just Bortoletto going slowly. Nothing actually happening. Ugh, deep. A little bit of a lock up. Just struggling a little bit now in this phase to hang on. Just gotta hope something happens at the right time. Bit of battling at the right time, you never know. More lap traffic. Oh my god. Have I got damage or not? I get a warning for a collision. I think we're okay. Lap traffic again. Sitting behind this V-carb, heading through Villeneuve. Paul Aaron. Having a look around the outside of Leclerc. Oh, just don't have any traction. We're catching, or we were catching Norris. That V-carb didn't help. Whenever we make any progress, we kind of get pushed back.
Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done.
I think that might be all she wrote. I think we just have to finish P5 now, unless we can try something. Little mistake, I just got a little bit carried away with the lap car. I always get nervous around lap cars in career mode because they never let you buy it. Oh well, that was a costly one. Oh my god, what was that? Just the one time I tried to get close, I pressed the brakes the same time as always, but the dirty air just locks the front. Nothing we can do about that. I'll burn like crazy here to try and get back within DRS. Oh my god, pushing like crazy. It seems like Verstappen's also chosen for this to be the lap where he pulls the pin and tries to check out and wrap up that podium. So at the minute we are overdriving this to try and stick with Leclerc here. Not overheating the rears yet. But that might be Max gone. I'll take a lap here to try and recharge and regenerate everything and go again and try and make a push. Okay, this time we get the car through Ravazza, and now we're going to have DRS on Charles, who doesn't have DRS on Max. So we're going to try and make a move here. Move up and use everything to try and get within Verstappen's DRS whilst dropping Leclerc at the same time. So, dual purpose. We've already got a pen for track limit, so we may as well send it. And just give it absolutely everything to see if we can make anything happen at this late stage. Oh, it's a decent chicane, but I don't think we're going to get DRS on Verstappen. Then we're just going to miss out. We have dropped Leclerc as Bortoletto retires. But if we'd had the DRS on Max now, that would have been huge for this pit straight to get a gap on Leclerc. Still though, good effort, we tried. Got a little bit of lap traffic here, which hopefully will get out of our way. Max is going to get held. Oh boy, Behrman getting right in the way here. We'll try and clear him now. Well, there we go. P5 is going to be our finishing position today. We tried. Unfortunately, the penalty did let us down, but we gave it everything. Piastri wins on home turf for the Tifosi, and we was right in the fight.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Oh, I will stop the last thing.
And it's the checkered flag for your Grand Prix race winner, Oscar Piastri.
A great team victory today, Crofty. That's the important bit here. On home soil, the drivers delivered, the team delivered as well, and to do that in front of their home support really means a lot to them.
What a day it's been for Formula One, and what a day it's been for these three drivers. Time for the podium celebrations. Time for our drivers to celebrate. And your winner today, the man from down under. Congratulations, Oscar Piastri.
Well, there we go. Race finished. Unfortunately, not the one. Piastri, P1 for Ferrari on home turf for the team. Lando and Verstappen on the podium with him. And yeah, Leclerc P4. We dropped to P5 with Carlos Sainz, of course, with that penalty. Antonelli, Albon, Russell, Gasly, Doohan finish out your point scorers. Gasly really dropped in that race, but I also think it kind of confirms and highlights that we are lacking some pace as a car, as a team. Hence why we've, gone to work in engineering to unlock the Tier 4, Phase 4 of aero, chassis, powertrain and durability upgrades. So more on that soon. In the meantime, let's quickly delve into the standings. So as you can see, Lando is your championship leader, Max P2, Sainz P5, Albon splits the two Cadillacs and moves up to P6 with that result. Gasly drops to P7, and yeah, of course, that DNF last time in Miami, definitely not ideal for Pierre, currently 20 points behind his teammate. And yeah, if we delve into the constructors standings, you can see Ferrari lead the way. They've got a bit of a gap now, to be fair, over McLaren, Red Bull and ourselves. There's actually fairly similar, around 20-ish point gaps between teams at the minute, so things are just spreading out a little bit. And Ferrari definitely seem to have the edge over everyone. So we'll see what happens in the coming episodes and races. Guys, in the meantime, that was round 7, Imola. Hopefully you enjoyed. And yeah, on the screen you'll have the rivalry update, which is brand new for us for the first time in 3 seasons. We finally get something new in terms of features, so keen to see how that goes. And yeah, a shame we couldn't quite get the measure of Max. Either way, good day in the office. Like the video, subscribe for more. It massively helps out the content, guys, after the hack, of course. And yeah, as always, a massive shout out to my channel members. And yeah, check out 2 videos on screen, and I'll see you guys soon. Grazie e ciao ciao.